And ladies and gentlemen, it's not every day that you call someone into your studio who has been one of the most dreaded terrorists of the most dreaded terrorist group in the country. And I hope you don't mind it, Sashadhar Choudhury, also known as Sasha, joined the ULFA in 1984 when he was still a teenager. Between 1984 and 2009, he was very, very actively involved in the top leadership of the ULFA. Not only was he a dreaded terrorist leader, he called himself the Foreign Secretary of the ULFA and picked up the gun and led a many decade-long insurgency against India with his aspiration to make Assam free. Today, Sashadhar Choudhury comes straight from the Home Ministry to my studio, where he has signed a historic peace agreement in the presence of Mr. Amit Shah and the Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma. And let me begin by saying today, Sashadhar, that I am glad. I am glad as an Indian and as an Assamese today about this peace agreement.
Thank you.
And I am glad that you have given up the gun and you are coming into the mainstream.
Sure.
Before we take the conversation forward, what is the basis of this peace agreement? And why are you coming back to the mainstream after having been, underground, having picked up the gun against the country? What has made you change your mind? What has made the ULFA leaders like you, Aurobindo Rajkwa, Anup Chetia, change your mind?
No. Basic condition is the time and the history attached with the time. In conclusion, I cannot say in a single word why we have given up arms and why I have come to a conclusion. First, you have to go why you have taken up arms. Then your answer will come up. It was happened just after in the wake of Assam movement. Day by day, innocent students, innocent peoples were killed who were involved in this very non-violent movement at the time. And we were very teenager. Love to the nation was there, and to some extent, what you say, it's an young age we were. And at that time, this proposition has come up, the joining ULFA. That means take up arms, because everything was happened in the haste of the central government and at the time the state government. That both were also at that time double Indian government, same government. 850 people have laid their life only because they were involved in for a very just cause and non-violently. So we thought that non-violent movement will not give us anything. So we took up arms.
How did you take up arms? Tell me, I mean, when you were part of ULFA and there were kidnappings and extortions,
you see,
that were being carried out.
No, I am.
Do you today regret?
No.
Do you today regret the violent acts that you carried out through those decades?
Yeah, let me explain. So we went first to Nagas. We got training there.
Where did you get your training?
From Nagaland, at Kasinland, and so on.
So you went to Myanmar?
Yeah.
So you went from Assam to Nagaland, you crossed the border, and you were being trained in arms in North Myanmar?
In North Myanmar, no, it is in the China border.
In the China border? Where across the China border?
It was Kasinland, no? Their headquarters, it's a jungle base they were at that time.
So it is Chinese territory?
No, it is in the Myanmar territory. It is a very long ago.
Who was giving you the terrorist training?
Kasin, Independent armies, they are still fighting therein. They have given us the training.
Why were they giving you training?
No, we have taken up training for them, and then later on they have anyhow make very diplomatic indifferent government of India also taking ULFA as a trump card and so later on.
No, so I want to understand this. Sasha, did you at any point of time take direct or indirect help of the Chinese to wage war against India?
No. It's basically it is stated that direct or indirect. ULFA has taken help from India. It is basically from the neighbouring countries.
Which neighbouring country?
There's Bhutan, Bangladesh, etc. But not with the government. With the low-level connection, they have made contact and they stayed there basically in the jungle. In the Bhutan also they stayed in the jungle, in Bangladesh also in the hill tracks or in the sideways, in the border areas they stayed there.
How did you move between Bangladesh and Bhutan and Myanmar? Where was your base?
No, it is conditional with the fake travel documents we have made and so. At that time,
You had fake documents.
fake documents, alpha
So
movements.
what were the fake documents that you were carrying?
No, that is fake passport and etc.
Fake Indian passport?
No, fake. Yes, fake Indian passport also at that time.
You
we
had
have
fake Indian passport.
fake Indian passport, fake Bangladeshi passport, fake Myanmar passport, fake Brazilian passport. We have collected.
You had a fake Brazilian passport
passport
as well.
also, Myanmar passport also. Anyhow,
And what is the kind of what is the kind of arms that
yes,
you had at
arms
that
for
time?
the smugglers. Alpha, it is no alpha. Anyhow, anywhere arms markets are there in the world. It's a very untold story, but everybody knows it.
Where were these arms markets where you were procuring the arms from?
Many countries. I don't want to divulge all these things.
What
done
kind
at
of
that
arms
age.
were you picking up?
So all types of arms ULFA have taken up at the time. All types of small arms, basically infantry-related arms. I can say.
And you were there for 2000 till 2009.
No,
you
I
said at one time.
I was arrested twice. At 1986 first. Then I was in jail for 2.5 years Then I went to Kasinland. Then I returned.
I want to understand this. You were arrested when you were very young. You were released. And then you went back to Myanmar and you joined the ULFA. Did you ever think that you were on the wrong path against your own country?
No. That situation has come up now. At that time, we thought that it is the only path. Only path to, anyhow, to fight for the justice. Situation has been changed. Time has been changed. Assam has been changed. As a whole, India has been changed. You cannot think today's India, today's Assam, and yesterday's Assam. It's very different. Very different. So at that time was that we have no other ways. We have no other ways but to fight for the justice. So we are a low contracting party. So the guerrilla war, what happened, that happens.
What's your biggest regret in this period? In 2009, viewers, in 2009, the gentleman sitting next to me, Sasha Choudhury, very interesting story. He is eloquent, he speaks many languages, and he's been the foreign secretary of ULFA. Before that, you went around saying that you will die, but you will not surrender.
Yes,
He said at that point of time, viewers, this person who's very amiable, looks like a very peaceful, genial man, was considered one of the most dangerous faces of the ULFA. And he made a statement at that time that I will morijam kintu moi surrender nokoru in Assamese, which means I will die but not surrender.
Surely.
Did you surrender in 2009? Suddenly on one day, you were in Dhaka in 2009, you were picked up by unidentified people and you were brought to the border where you were picked up by the BSF, right, and taken into custody on charges of terrorism. What is the real story? Did you sign some kind of understanding with the Indian government at that time to surrender?
No.
Did you surrender?
No, never. I am telling you the story that all these ULFA personnel, not only ULFA personnel, ULFA leaders know, this is other Manipuri, these Meitei groups are there, Bodos are there, Tripuris are there, all the leaders were arrested. Because this government has come up there, they have very good relations, diplomatic relations come up.
And all of you were in Bangladesh.
Yes, we were in Bangladesh.
Why were you in Bangladesh?
Other places where you will go. There is no other places in Assam is a landlocked country to
No,
go
but when
outside.
you go to Bangladesh, were you getting protection from the Bangladesh government?
No. We were in a
You were in
hideout.
hiding?
Hiding, yeah. Everywhere you have to hide. When we are fighting against India, you have to hide. Because
Why did you choose to go to Dhaka? Why were you not in the jungles with your forces? Why were you in Dhaka?
No. When we are going to somewhere else, you have to go to somewhere else. You have to go to Dhaka, no?
So why do you have to go to somewhere else?
Because to propagate against India, propagate my causes. So
Propagate with whom against India, Sasha?
no, in this moment, I am not ready to tell you all these things because
You must tell me as much as you can share. We
No,
must.
basically,
Why are you not ready to tell me everything?
we have gone to even it is Geneva also at that time.
How did you travel to Geneva? As a wanted terrorist leader, how did you go to
No,
Geneva?
it's a fake passport we travel anyhow. It's a very different mindset.
You just took a fake passport and went to Geneva.
Yes. Geneva, we have given deliberation there also in Geneva in 2, 3.
Were you getting direct or indirect support from any other government? You can open up with me. There is no problem.
No, sir, I am not telling you, no. Direct or indirect, I don't want to say, but at that time, anyhow, when we are going to Geneva, when we have got some ways and means to give any deliberation in UN, there must have to be some hidden support from somewhere else. I am telling you.
There must be some hidden support from somewhere else.
Nobody is open to ULFA. Nobody is open to ULFA. Anyhow, we got there, we got some
Where is the
organization.
hidden support from?
Because you cannot understand that somebody is supporting you. Because
But don't you want to understand?
no country will support you against India in this very world.
No country will support you against India.
directly against
China will.
No, China is not helping anybody else. Whom China is helping? It is always status story.
There has been this charge. Can I ask you this question directly?
What?
It has been speculated that China was supporting ULFA.
No, I don't believe it. Basically it is stated because all arms and ammunition which has been traveled to Assam, those are Chinese arms.
So how did the Chinese
There are
arms come to
smugglers
you?
everywhere you will get it.
How did Chinese arms come to you?
So many smugglers in the world who will provide you all these things.
You got the arms from the smugglers.
Absolutely. All insurgent groups got arms from the smugglers.
But where were the smugglers getting the arms from?
I don't know, sir.
How can you say you don't know?
It is not my duty and you cannot go there in also. Our needs
Was China indirectly routing the arms to you through smugglers?
I don't think so. Not indirectly routing because we have bought all these arms. If China would have given arms, then this time also China would have given arms to anybody else. To Manipuri, Nagas, they are not giving. You see. Nagas are fragmented because Naga has gone to China and they failed to enter China last time also, in 1986.
You must have worked with, and directly or indirectly, with almost all the major terrorist groups in the Northeast.
Yes.
Am I right?
I am contradicting with you. I don't believe that they are terrorist group because.
Of course they are terrorist groups.
No, I don't believe it.
Of
so,
course
man.
they are terrorist
I
groups.
don't believe it. You can say, but I don't believe it.
They use
so,
terror. The idea is to use weapons to undermine the state.
No,
they are
man.
terrorist groups.
Undermine the state means why you have taken up, you must have to go there.
That is an argument that
Is
can
not-
be put by any terrorist group.
Yes. When you are killing 850 people who are agitating in the street in a Gandhian ways, then you are not going to make it yourself as a terrorist.
And how many people did ULFA kill?
It's a collateral damage happens.
Then you are justifying it. The same argument can be put. But then if every individual who is aggrieved any person who has a
Today-
grievance in India picks up guns against the state, that is an act of terrorism.
No. Yes, it may be an act of terrorism, but Northeast, in case of Northeast, no, I am not telling it so because you know that what about the Northeast, what it was at the time. You are telling it from a studio of Noida. You have seen Delhi now. You have seen Assam now. But have you seen that time Assam in 1983, 1982? The Nagas at the time, the Mijos at the time.
But then what good did all of this do?
Condition is that we have
What
taken
good
up
did all of this do?
No,
what
sir.
good did the violence
I am
do?
telling you one thing. We have taken up arms 79 when it is stated, but actually the working condition has come up from 1983.
So were you in touch with other terrorist groups in the Northeast? It was said, see, Sasha, that now that you are in my studio,
Yes, surely.
you will have to open up to
Surely,
me.
open-
So my
no.
question is, it was said that the ULFA, of which you were a top leader, was really the controlling terrorist group, controlling all the other terrorist groups in the Northeast. True or false?
No, sir. It is not controlling. How can it be controlled?
Not controlled, but in direct liaison.
It is not possible.
Working with.
We have a liaison with the other group, basically with the Bodos and so. These are neighboring brothers. We have liaison, but how can you control them?
Did you coordinate acts of violence?
Alpha has tried so many times to make coordination, but I don't think it was materialized. It was not materialized.
You wanted to coordinate to carry
Yes,
out?
tried, surely.
So what was your intention? What was the intention?
No, to make an umbrella.
Umbrella of what?
of all these groups, no?
Umbrella of all the terrorist groups.
I am, please rectify this. Those are not terrorist groups.
No, I will continue
terrorist
to
group,
use the word terrorist.
India cannot talk with any terrorist group. It is not a principle, narrative principle of Government of India. Government of India is talking with with all these groups who are coming to the mainstream. Or
No,
who
but the
are
government of India will talk to anyone who respects
media
the
can say, you are a
constitution of
media
India.
person, man. You can say anything else. But your saying does not mean that we are terrorist group. Even when this doctrine has come up, this is again terrorism and so, then also ULFA was not regarded as terrorist group.
No,
Never.
that is a question of perspective. That is a question of perspective.
No. Perspective means what?
Perspective means
also,
that if you are seeking a political solution to an issue and you pick up the gun, then the question is very, very simple, that it is a terrorist group. Now my question is,
I am not agreed with you. You have to come with my terms. Otherwise, your question will be to a terrorist man.
no, I will not come on your
No,
terms.
man, with a terrorist, it is my even Home Minister of India, and it is honorable.
No, can a person who is watching you tonight, Sashadhar Choudhury, who is watching you tonight, and a lot of people are watching you
surely.
on this program, after all these years, what really was achieved?
Yes.
What was achieved by choosing the path of violence?
To answer your question, it is 100% I am going
Yes,
to
what
answer.
was achieved
But
with-
first you have to say that ULFA is not a terrorist group.
I will not say that ULFA is not a terrorist group for the reason that we can have a difference of perspective on it. Because I am also an Assamese and you are an Assamese. And, you know, where you come from is very close to where our family village is.
Sure.
So, but two people from the same state can have a difference of opinion.
Maybe.
And that is what, yeah, so we have a difference of opinion on this.
Surely.
I am happy I began by saying that you've given up the gun. Because I can tell you this.
You should be.
I can tell you this, Sasha. I can tell you this, Sasha. That there was a point of time when I know there was a lot of anger in Assam, but I do not believe that the resolution to any issue, including a change of demography, including a challenge to the Assamese identity, can be picking up the gun. Because there's no end to the cycle of violence. And my worry is that somebody outside will take advantage of that. Anyway, let me come back to the present. You said at one time that you will never surrender. Did you surrender?
No,
In 2009?
Yes, that context was different. This context is different. Today, we have signed an accord. Then we have to abandon violence, we have to give up arms. And in the time of ceasefire accord, we have stated that we are going to make an accord.
When you gave up the gun, when you gave up arms,
within 15 days of this very signing.
did you think at that point of time that your life would be in danger if you come back to
No,
Assam?
gun is not in our hand, man. On 2009, we have locked it up with the government of Assam and
No,
government
but
of India.
was your life in danger because there's
Why?
another group of ULFA which is not
We
talking?
don't believe so. With other group of ULFA, we don't have any enmity.
You have an enmity with Paresh Barua.
No, what
You have
enmity?
differences with him.
No, differences are there.
Where is Paresh Barua now?
I cannot say. How can I say, man?
Does he
is
want to
under-
come back in your
He will
view?
not say me that where I am.
When was the last time you spoke?
It is 7-8 years before.
7-8 years back. What was the discussion about? Viewers, the
No.
person we are talking about
Because-
is the ULFA Commander-in-Chief Paresh Barua, and I am asking him whether, because Paresh Barua is not yet part of the peace talks,
Sure.
you think he can be?
Today, Chief Minister has assured the people of Assam as well people of India that he has contacts, and very definitely, very precisely is saying that he is coming up. I have to believe him.
To all the terrorist groups, sorry, I'll call them terrorist groups, you may not, but to all the groups who have taken up the gun against India, including in the Northeast, and there are so many of them, what is your message to them on a day when you have signed such a historic
My
peace?
message is very clear.
And especially
Yes.
to any youngster.
Yes, I am.
Like
my
you,
message
were
is
you
that
an 18, 19-year-old when you picked up the
This
gun?
is not the era of taking up arms and to fight India now. You will not get anything else now. Now, India is a very mature state. It is reigning near about, I am telling you, this is South, global South now, reigning. And its hand is going on to the global North also slowly, what I have understood. Already global South is under India. And it's a very mature state. That much I am saying, I am not going to the depth. What I do understand. So I asked anyone else that this is not the way now. Maybe later on, maybe, and it was past. It was okay to some extent for us. We did believe it, but now not. We have to do for ourselves. We have to do for the nation as
That's
a whole.
significant. That's significant.
Yeah.
Well, that's significant. So the last message on this program from Sasha Choudhury on the day he signs the peace deal, and I hope the message goes to all those who have picked up the gun or have picked up the gun or even are thinking in that direction. Sasha Choudhury says this is not the era. This is not the era to pick up the gun. The future is India's. I thank you very much for the openness with which you have come today, and I congratulate you on the peace deal that you've signed with the government of Assam.
Everything is okay, Arnab. I thank you for giving me this space to say something, and a little bit I am embarrassed that when you are saying I was terrorist and something else, but I'll tell you the last moment.
That's a question of perspective. That's a question of perspective. We don't need to agree. But as long as we all work in the national
Thank you very
interest.
much. And I ask you, and I'm very happy for you also that you are doing something else, such type of an organization, institution you have developed on your own. And hope you will do something as for Assam also.
Thank you very much. That's Sashadhar Choudhury, ladies and gentlemen, on the other side tonight.